Welcome to part 7 of our video series regarding the real Jesus in the Bible. This exposition is from the Bible Revelations of the late teacher Erano Martin Evangelista from the website www.name.ph. In our previous video, we learned how the apostles stole Jesus' corpse after he died on the cross and made it appear that he was resurrected from the dead. The question now is, what then did Jesus mean when he said about rising again on the third day? We will learn how the late teacher Evangelista revealed to us then the answer to the said question. The Bible passages we will be reading are from the New International Version. Let us begin our reading in Luke 18 verses 31 to 34. Jesus took the 12 aside and told them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and everything that is written by the prophets about the Son of Man will be fulfilled." Luke 18:31. Teacher Evangelista then pointed out that Jesus was now referring to himself as a Son of Man and not as a Son of God. We already learned in part 3 of our series how Jesus pretended to be a Son of God because of Peter's flattery. Reading again Luke 18:31, Jesus said that what the prophets have written about him as a Son of Man will be fulfilled. Question: what is this prophecy about himself as the Son of Man that Jesus was referring to? Let us read again in 2 Samuel 7 verses 12 to 14. "When your days are over and you rest with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring to succeed you, who will come from your own body, and I will establish his kingdom." 2 Samuel 7:12. As a prophesied descendant of King David, Jesus' role then was very important, as that it is he who may establish the kingdom of David over Israel once more. The Israelites will no longer again be conquered by any nation. Let us read now in 2 Samuel 7 verse 13 to learn the essential factor for Jesus to do in order to complete the task in 2 Samuel 7:12 to 14. "He is the one who will build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever." 2 Samuel 7:13. "He is the one who will build a house for my name." Solomon built a house for the name of God but was unable to accomplish his task of making God's name known by his people because he built other temples for the gods of his wives. Jesus' task, therefore, is to simply make known the name of God to the lost sheep of Israel through the temple which King Solomon built before. And in 2 Samuel 7 verse 14, we can read, "I will be his father, and he will be my son. When he does wrong, I will punish him with the rod of men, with floggings inflicted by men." 2 Samuel 7:14. "I will be his father, and he will be my son." If Jesus, the offspring of David, is successful in accomplishing his task, his throne as king will be established over Israel forever. Although he is just a descendant of David, God will reward him with the title Son of God. When he does wrong, I will punish him with the rod of men, with floggings inflicted by men. God did not make this humiliating punishment happen to Solomon as he was David's direct son. This will now happen to Jesus, as he is the last descendant of David chosen to fulfill the prophecy. We can now understand that when Jesus spoke about himself as a Son of Man, he was referring to his real mission as a son or descendant of David prophesied in 2 Samuel 7:12 to 14. He never was a direct son of God. Now let us go back to Luke 18 verse 32 and let us discover what Jesus said will happen to him. Luke 18 verse 32. "He will be handed over to the Gentiles. They will mock him, insult him, spit on him, flog him and kill him." Luke 18:32. Jesus was now referring to the sufferings that he will have to bear as a consequence of his wrongdoing. We already learned in part 6 of our series how Jesus' suffering was prophesied in detail in the book of Psalms because he committed iniquity and did not fulfill his mission for God and for his people. To continue in Luke 18 verse 33. "On the third day, he will rise again." Luke 18:33. Did the apostles understand the meaning of what he said about the third day? In Luke 18 verse 34 we can read, "The disciples did not understand any of this. Its meaning was hidden from them, and they did not know what he was talking about." Luke 18:34. When Jesus said that when he had committed an offense he would be punished and killed, his people knew about it. But when he said that on the third day he will rise again, that was the part that was not understood by his disciples. This is the part where, despite following Satan, Jesus is now speaking about his mission from God which he failed to do. and that another man will be sent by God to continue to do his unfinished task. What is the meaning of the third day, as said by Jesus? Again, let us read the Psalms. In Psalm 90 verse 4, "For 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night." Psalm 90 verse 4. The third day that Jesus mentioned, which was not understood by his disciples, is based on 1,000 years, which is considered just a day by God. Thus, when Jesus spoke of rising on the third day, he did not mean he will literally rise from the dead after 3 days, but rather he is speaking about being revealed truthfully on the eve of the third millennium after his death. Our present era. What will happen on the third day or on the first years of the third millennium? Let us read in Revelation 22 verse 16. "I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star." Revelation 22:16. Jesus said that he is sending an angel or messenger. This means Jesus is not coming. It is the angel or messenger that is sent by Jesus, who will testify to the churches or the people who believe in Jesus, to clarify that he, Jesus, is only the root and offspring, or a descendant, of David, and also the bright morning star. The angel or messenger is not an enemy of Jesus set out to destroy his, Jesus, reputation. The angel will simply reveal to everyone what Jesus has sent him to do. And that is to declare that long ago, Jesus has admitted that he is the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star. In the year 2005, through the website www.name.ph, the late teacher Erano Martin Evangelista then had revealed to the whole world that Jesus is the root and the offspring of David, or the descendant of David, spoken by God to continue the task in 2 Samuel 7:12-14 after King Solomon, and the prophesied bright morning star in Isaiah 14 verses 9-20. Regarding the third day which Jesus spoke, is it really prophesied? Let us read in Hosea 6 verses 1-6, "Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind up our wounds." This is what God is doing right now. After 2 days he will revive us, on the third day he will restore us, that we may live in his presence. Hosea 6 verses 1-2. As the passage said, 2 days he will revive us, these represent the last 2,000 years. On the third day he will restore us, this is our time. We are in the first years of the third millennium, the third day. God's people will be known in this time. That we may live in his presence, this is the time God's presence will be with mankind. Continue in Hosea 6 verse 3, "Let us acknowledge the Lord, let us press on to acknowledge him. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear, he will come to us like the winter rains, like the spring rains that water the earth." Hosea 6:3. Let us acknowledge the Lord, we have to know God and call on his name, and he will come. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear. According to teacher Evangelista, God will make the whole world realize that all the Bible revelations that were uploaded on the website name.ph are his true teachings. It will surely come to pass. Like the spring rains that water the earth, God's truth will come as a blessing to those who will acknowledge it. To continue in Hosea 6 verse 4. "What can I do with you, Ephraim? What can I do with you, Judah? Your love is like the morning mist, like the early dew that disappears." Hosea 6:4. Like the morning mist, because we have not put our faith in God, we always turn away from him. What do Ephraim and Judah mean? We will learn about this topic in our future videos. Let us now read in Hosea 6 verse 5. "Therefore I cut you in pieces with my prophets, I killed you with the words of my mouth, my judgments flash like lightning upon you." Hosea 6:5. Teacher Evangelista then said, "It is by our reading of the prophets that we have discovered that the religions do not belong to God and that their teachings are not of God's." To continue in Hosea 6 verse 6. "For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and acknowledgement of God rather than burnt offerings." Hosea 6:6. True acknowledgement of God is to call on his true name, for God really has a name. God doesn't need offerings. He created everything, what can we give to him in return? Teacher Erano M. Evangelista once said, "We should praise and thank God and call on his name and obey his commandments, for us to be blessed." Question. Is it true that when he was still alive, Jesus spoke about another messenger whom God will send to continue his, Jesus, unfinished mission? We will learn that in part 8 of our video series. Let us now know God's true name, his true teachings, and the real identity of Jesus in the Bible, by visiting the website www.name.ph. The website does not promote a new religion or faith, but only to share God's true message. Also, to receive notifications about the latest videos regarding Teacher Evangelista's Bible Revelations, kindly hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.